What do I want? Do I want Cardinals? Do I want Blues? I'm feeling Blues. What's up, guys? There's been a lot of toxicity on Twitter lately, specifically Twitter. A lot of fan bases of, let's say, franchises, sports franchises, YouTube communities, all of them in general, I think have been completely toxic lately. I just wanted to get some of my thoughts off my chest. Let's start off with probably the biggest community, the biggest fan base in the world. I guess it would be considered Star Wars. I'm a part of this fan base. I love Star Wars with all my heart. I have since I was little. I love everything Star Wars because I am a true fan. Now, lately there was an interview with Daisy Ridley where she pretty much revealed that Rey, who was the main character in the sequel trilogy, was originally going to be Kenobi. Or that's what they said, originally going to be Kenobi, when in reality it was just one of multiple different outcomes for Rey's origin. I saw Twitter absolutely explode because of this, calling it SJW propaganda. Disney doesn't care about what we want. Disney just wants to grab a quick buck. They don't know what they're doing with this franchise. Shut up, please. I'm just asking for all of the normal Star Wars fans to just shut the f up, genuinely, because the sequel trilogies, and this is gonna piss a lot of people off, The Last Jedi specifically, did more for Star Wars than people think. The Last Jedi specifically showed that you don't have to just be a Skywalker or a Jedi to be important in the galaxy. People didn't like that. People didn't like that at all. They're a bunch of crybabies. A bunch of big crybabies. They want to call Disney snowflakes for letting a woman lead the sequel trilogy, yet they're gonna cry when a fictional movie franchise doesn't go the way it went in their fan fiction that they wrote 10 years ago. Grow up. Star Wars is Star Wars. Until you have the authority and the fidelity and the proper vanquish to be able to direct a Star Wars movie and make those decisions, you don't get to talk. And don't get me started on the people that reacted negatively to John Boyega calling out Disney for not handling minority characters properly. So you look at John Boyega's character Finn and Rose Tico, who's an Asian woman, and they had no idea what they wanted to do with them, and you can tell throughout the form of the three movies. Disney seemed like they were going to make Finn a super important character in Force Awakens. In The Last Jedi, they decided to make him a main character after he heals, but send him on pretty much an unneeded mission. And then you look at The Rise of Skywalker and what the just happened. He has the Force now, he's Force sensitive, but they never clarify it. You have to read the novelization of the movie to understand that he's Force sensitive, in case you didn't catch it from all the context clues, which a lot of people I know didn't. And then Rose Tico, she was in The Last Jedi, played a supporting role, was great at it. Then The Rise of Skywalker, she was in it for under 60 seconds. Finn goes to leave and he's like, well, come on, Rose. And she's like, I can't, I was told to stay here. And then just isn't there for the rest of the movie. She stays at base the whole time. But they knew exactly how to handle Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver's characters, but no idea how to handle the other ones. So don't sit there and say that, oh, well, it happens to all actors. Not all actors get great roles. I understand that. You're telling me the two biggest minority characters went through one of the worst character arcs because Disney had no idea what they wanted to do with them? Come on now. So I guess moving past that, big issue that I've seen in the Marvel fan base is Captain America's character arc. So let's recap Captain America's character arc real quick, okay? Bullied as a kid in the 1940s, grew up in Brooklyn. He, wanted to do nothing but care about other people. He joined the army, barely got in, almost got discharged, but due to his heart that was shown in boot camp, he was chosen for the super soldier serum. He gets it, stops her at school, falls in love with Peggy, and gets frozen in the ice for 40 years. Or not 40 years, but however long he was. Wakes up in 2012, becomes an Avenger, catches up with everything, saves the world in Endgame, and finally takes Tony Stark's advice to get a life for himself. He goes back in time and he stays with Peggy. I saw a lot of people complaining about his character arc because he saved Bucky and he got Bucky out of everything, and Bucky became unbrainwashed, but then he leaves Bucky for Peggy. And I see a real big issue with this, because in what scenario would one man base his entire life around his best friend? I feel like him and Bucky's relationship developed as far as it could. They were best friends. He was Captain America with him, Bucky died, got taken by the Russians, brainwashed, and served as the Winter Soldier until Cap saved him, and the Wakandans were able to remove the brainwashing from his head. What more did Steve have to do or stay around for Bucky with? Captain America gave everything for everyone over and over again and never once took anything for himself. Tony, Iron Man himself, gave him the advice to take one for yourself, get a life, do something with yourself. So the second that he knew that he was okay to leave and that everybody would be safe with Thanos gone, he took a life for himself and lived out the rest of his life with Peggy happily. Tell me in what scenario why that is bad character development. I want to know. I would like to see what people think about this, because all I've seen on Twitter is complete negativity about it. After giving so much for yourself, for others, for the world, he took one thing for himself, and it's exactly what he deserved. Another one that I've seen a lot is LA sports team fans. I know, if anybody in LA ever sees this, I'm sorry. You guys are some terrible fans. And that's truly because you guys are probably the biggest bandwagon fans I have ever seen. Totally respect your teams. Angels, Dodgers, Lakers, Clippers, Rams, Chargers, all of it. Great teams, great players. So why is it that when I would watch Laker games, with Kobe out of his prime, rest in peace, Jeremy Lin on the team, Nick Young, I would see so many empty seats. So many empty seats. Same with the Clippers, any of them. If a team was doing bad, there would be unbelievably empty seats. LeBron comes, right? Kawhi comes to the Clippers. The Rams move back to LA and they're decent. The Chargers come to LA and they're terrible, right? I see packed stadiums, sold out. Once the Lakers are good, sold out. Dodgers, Angels. You could look at an LA game, right? I feel like it's the same with baseball now. You look at an LA baseball game between the Dodgers, I would say it's more Angels now. First 5 innings, packed. Fans there, having a good time, right? If the Angels are winning, you'll see that till the end. The fans will be there, etc. If the Angels are losing, and I would say it's the Dodgers, but I feel like the Dodgers have a stronger fan base. They start to diminish. They leave. And this is the same for Lakers. If the Lakers are losing, like entering the fourth quarter, you will see empty seats, unless it's playoffs, unless it's a super important game. They will just leave. They will not sit there and support. Why is that? I would like to believe it's because LA has established this superiority complex over other cities, you know? I feel like being born in LA, a lot of people see it as being better. I don't know, especially as sports fans. I feel like a lot of sports fans view themselves as above others because they get to live in LA sports. They get to watch the LA sports. They get to say that the Lakers are their hometown team, which is understandable. But why aren't you there when they're bad? I grew up in St. Louis, okay? I grew up with the Cardinals, I grew up with the Blues, and I grew up with the Rams until they moved. It didn't matter how bad the teams were doing. You were always a fan. You're always there supporting, staying the whole time, never leaving early. We had the Rams, man. The Rams hadn't been good since, 2003, 4, and they just started getting good and they moved. LA. Step your game up. Step it up. Because sooner or later, if you don't step it up, other teams are going to take over. And then this final fan base, probably the greatest fan base that I think that I've ever seen, the most supportive and the most supportive and the most caring. Now it's not like a normal fan base, but I think when it comes down to it, I think it's the greatest. And that is you guys. Right now we're sitting at 250, I think on the dot, 250 subscribers. And that's a lot more than I thought we would have at this point for this period of time that we've been doing it. I believe that truly you guys are the best. If it's people locally, people that found us from other states, I couldn't thank you guys enough for what you do. Truly, truly thank you for supporting us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my rant. The New York accent is gone this time. Sorry if that was an issue last time. But hey, we all develop, right? Subscribe, like, tell me your thoughts on what I just said, and I'll see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to visit our channel right here and watch the last vid right here. And have an absolute amazing day. I mean, you guys are the best.